Hey, what's happening guys? It's Mark back in the workshop on Mark's Aquatics. Right, Fluval have sent me one of their new range of 207 canister filters for me to review, okay? Now this is going to be taking pride of place on my little Corridoris grow out tank because the filtration at the moment is a sponge filter. Well, there's two in there and I'm going to up the game and put this in there. So we're going to rig it up and go through it in a minute, but I'll just stick you on the bench now and we'll go through a few of the stats off the box, okay? Let's go. Little filter there which is going to cover you from 20 to 45 US gallons, okay? That's 60 to 220 litres. Now that's a really good all-round size filter, okay, because it means that you're going to be able to adjust that flow, and by the looks of it there, that's the flow handle, and that's going to adjust your flow up and down there. So you could use this right down to quite a small tank. Even a very small shrimp tank might be okay if you put a sponge sock over the end of the intake pipe, and or right the way up to its maximum 45 gallons. That's running flat out, or 220 litres. Now that's a really good range from A to B right through the scale. So you've got a very good efficient filter there that you can use on lots of different tanks. 25% quieter than the old 206 models, and it's got a new E-Tech powerful little motor which is put in there, which is a completely new, obviously a new design. So they're it's going to be a lot more quieter. We'll get into that as we open the box up. Like I said, I haven't opened it yet at all, and to see what's in there. It's good for fresh water or salt water. Now then, we'll turn the box around sideways, and on the side of the box here we've got all the other specifications on here as well. Now it only costs, it's going to cost you next to nothing. It's going to cost you under £20 a year, I would say, in the UK here to run this. It's only 10 watts of power consumption, okay? Now that's obviously going to be running 24/7, so 10 watts of power, it's about under £20 a year to run that. So that's absolutely, that is nothing. Okay, back of the box there, we've got an internal look at the filter there, all the different chambers, filter cartridge there, all the stuff you get with the filter in there. You get free media with this one as well, guys, which is absolutely brilliant. So if you want to stick with that free media, you can, or you can swap it out for all these various different types of medias that they've got in their product range here. All the different zeolites, the quick clear, the carbon, phosphate removers, biofoams, and ammonia removers as well. So you've got a good range there, or you could do something completely different yourself. So what I think we should do now is get this guy out the box and check it out. Right, okay guys, this is what you get in the box. You obviously get the filter. It's made out of a really nice high grade plastic, and it's got some really nice little rubber feet. If we just put that to the side there, it's got some very nice rubber feet on there. So if you've got that on a wooden floor or inside your cabinet in your aquarium, you're not going to get any vibration. I mean, these have got super quiet pumps in them anyway, and they're hardly any vibration, but that is going to cancel all that extra little bits of vibration and things out as well, okay, with the water passing through it. So that's a good little addition there as well. And you got the Bible down there and the extended warranty that comes with it. It teaches you how to put it all together in all the different languages, which is good. We've got the ribbed pipe here. Now I know quite a lot of you guys aren't a fan of this ribbed hosing, especially you in the aquascaping world. Obviously you've got a lovely planted green tank, and then you've got to put this black pipe in there. Now obviously you haven't got to use that at all. You know, you can use these, I mean, they've got those rubber feet on there which are going to slide into these pipes here, but there's nothing wrong with you getting a piece of, I would say that's around 20mm clear tube and a clear head, and changing that at any time if you're into aquascaping. But I don't tend to find this too bad. Now inside the packet here we've got, if I don't throw it everywhere, turn that upside down, put that there. Now we got the tank. This is where your pipe's going to go over the top of your tank, and that stops basically any kinks going in your tank. So that pipe is going to run over the top and through there. You got two of those guys, because you've got one for the return and one for the feed. Okay, so you got that in there as well. Suction cups for the uptake as well, which has got their little weir system in there with that little ball inside. That just slides on there. That one goes in your tank, as you guys know, or if you didn't, now you do. That one goes into the tank. And then we've got the little pipe holder there, which, put it in the right way there, look, goes in there like that. Push the red tab down and it locks into position. And then you've got that flow rate regulator there, which you can have right the way to full on and then all the way to nice and slow, but you'll see that when I get it hooked up. Now there's the pipes, that's what holds the pipes. Slide the pipes on there. If you weren't aware of that, the pipes go down there and they spin up then and secure that pipe nice and secure in place. Okay, so I think what we should do after we've gone through that, I'm going to set you up now on my little Corydorus fish tank next door, where we got about 200 little baby corys, little bronzies, and I'm going to set it up on that tank. Now it's got two sponge filters running in it anyway, you can just see it over there, and I'll take the lid off and we'll set it up in there, and I'll just get it running in there, and it'll cycle itself over time, and I think I'll just leave it running in there for the time being. Right guys, we are now set up on the Corydorus tank. Look at all those little guys go, there's no end of them in here. Now this is going to be perfect for this little tank, I've just decided, because I was just thinking before about doing it in the seawater. It can go in salt water, but I thought these little guys are growing all the time, and I've got two sponge filters in there at the moment, but they're going to need an upgrade, so this is perfect for that. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to rig it up on here, but I'm going to leave the sponge filters going, as you can see there, because that'll keep circulating and make sure that water's fine and filtration's all right still. But I'm going to hook this up, I'm going to seed it with some other media, we'll get into that in a sec, and then I can set it up on this tank, show you how to do it. And so if you do get one of these, you'll know how to set this little thing up. Okay, right then, we've got the old Bible there, which has got all the instructions in there, and we've got all the little bits out which came in the box. Okay, we've got the clip there, the sucker cup on there, which goes onto the onto that lift tube, which has got that little ball inside. You've got that little anti-return ball in there. So what that does is when the water's being drawn through the grid there, it'll go bypass that ball. But if it tries to come back down, if the power shuts off, it'll stop that. So if you blow through it, you blow back down, it locks it in place. But when it sucks the water up, it can flow through it. So it's a little check valve built in, which is quite cool. So that fits onto there like so, inside your tank. We'll fit that in a minute. These hang over the side of your tank, one for the flow and one for the return. There's the return. There's the seal, which goes in the top of the filter. I'll show you and fit that in a minute. So that's basically everything you've got there. The only thing that you're going to need to do and cut, and tools wise you're going to need to fit this, is a blade. And I've got one of my old scraper sharp blades there, or a pair of scissors, because when the pipe comes, it's in one, I would say, just over maybe 2 meter length. Okay, and it's got both these on the end here. Okay, so what you're going to have to do is, depending on your tank and where you want to fit this, you can cut these pipes to size. Okay, now I'm going to cut these directly in half, so I'm just going to fold it in two, reverse that over there like that, put that down on the bench, and just slice through that, lovely and clean, as easy as that. And then those bits then, being ribbed and that rubber, they're going to push, and you can fit them snugly into there. Depress those quite hard and wriggle it down. If you want to, you can put a little bit of warm water on the seal first. That'll soften that rubber up and it'll get it in there easier, and then it'll cool down and shrink around it nice and tightly. Okay, so that's basically one done. Don't worry about the angle, I'll set you up in a minute on a different angle, and then you can see how we put all this together. And the same with this one, that just fits now nice and snug into there. Right, okay then, what we're going to do now is we're going to put these on. I'm going to concentrate on putting them on the right hand side of this tank, okay? And I'm going to have the lift tube here. I'm going to have the outflow blowing that way, so it's going to create a nice circular motion around that way, okay? And so basically what you do with these is you get a couple of suckers which are also supplied with the kit. They slide into some little gaps there, and it just makes sure that when you put them into your tank, you clamp them over the side. I'll put that one over there, okay, and then we get this one for the return, and you just push them to the side, and basically the suckers, they just suck to the side of the tank there, and it just makes sure that the pipes don't flick out and you end up flooding your carpet and having your other half chasing you around the house later on. So what we've got to do now is, you've got the other sides of the clips. Now what they do is they go on a ratchet system over the top like that. So with the lift tube now, sorry, with the return pipe, with that little angular head, just twist it so it levels itself up. And that bends around there. And then you get the clip on the top. And they just clip down over the top, and then that will hang in place. Okay, I just backed it up a bit, okay, and pulled some of that. Now I'm just going to leave that outflow just out of the water there, because when we prime it and we get it going, I want to see the flow rates from full to right down low, and see what we get flow rates coming out of the filter. Okay, so I've just backed it up out of the water a bit there. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to repeat that process. Sorry if my arms and things are getting in the way when I'm putting these pipes in, but the same now with the intake pipe. You've got your little clip there which fits on and sticks it to the inside. Obviously when you're putting this into your tank, it's entirely up to you whether you fit them at the back, whether you fit it at the side, whether you put the uplift pipe in one corner and the return flow in another corner. I'm just setting it up here because of the angle, and we've got fish in here already, and I've just got to make sure everything's on this side just for this demonstration. And first of all I've got to get something over this strainer head, because we don't want my little baby corries going shooting up the tube. Right, okay guys, what I've done now, you can see I've put a nice piece of sponge over the intake there to stop my little corries going in there, and I've hung that in there as well. So we've got our return and we've got our feed now to the pump, okay, and we've got our two ends now which we're going to have to connect to our filter. But before we do that, we've got to put that seal in, okay, that's very important, you don't forget to do that. Right, now we've got to put this motor head gasket on, which is very simple to do. You just pull out the tops, depress down, and that will lift it out quite easily because that seal's not in there at the moment, okay? And we can just put that down to one side out the way. Inside we've got instructions there saying please remove all the filter media from their protective bags and all the carbon and things that are in here, because you can't just plug this straight in, okay? I'll show you that in a minute. But first of all we've got to fix this little seal in place, okay? Right, these are super easy to fit, guys. You've got your motor head there and you've got a little groove that runs all the way around in there, okay? So basically all you do, take your ring out of the bag. Sometimes it might be kinked up, so just keep twisting it until it goes nice and circular. Wrap it around through that groove in the top and just basically stretch it into place, and it will just sit there nice inside there like that. And that's all there is to it. Motor wise, you've got a nice little clip there which you push in and lift, and that will give you access to your impeller, and then you just reverse if you ever need to clean it at any time. That bit goes in there first, and then that just snaps into place like so. That's your little priming handle there, okay, when you're doing the self-siphoning, but we'll get into that shortly. Okay, that's basically that bit's all done now. So now we've got the cartridges inside. Now you've got this cartridge which you pull out now for mechanical filtration. Got coarser sponges on there, and we've got some biofoam on the other side there. Now they put these little extra dimples in there like that because it creates a greater surface area for bacteria to colonize. Okay, so that's why that's been put in there. Super easy to take out and clean. Just reverse that, pull that out, squeeze it out in some aquarium water, pop it back, and you're good to go again. Okay, so that's very, very simple. Now inside here you've got the lid of the, you've got to take the lid off like so, and then you'll see a little red tab inside like that. You just put your hand in there, and then that will just lift out all your media baskets. Okay, so we've got a carbon mesh bag in there. Obviously remove this outer bag. In the next one we got some ceramic rings, okay, for the biological filtration. And in the last one we've got some fine filter floss and some more bio sponge in there as well. Okay, so that's all the media that you get free with this filter, which is brilliant. So that one goes on there first. Make sure you take that out of there, give it a rinse under a tap or in some aquarium water, better still, and wash that off, and then place it into the basket. Slide that container on top of there. In fact, I can be doing this as we speak. Empty that into there, make sure that goes nice and level. Give it a little shake. Next basket on top of there. Then we get the carbon as well. What I would do is I'd rinse that in some aquarium water first, okay, because you're going to have quite a lot of dust in that. And you're going to want to rinse that off first before you place it in there. Okay, I'm going to go and rinse this under some dechlorinated tap water in a minute, so I can pop that into there like so. Then you lift your handle up, pop that back in there like that, replace the lid, and then your foam cartridges just sit back in there like so. Then obviously you've got to match up the top now to go over there. Which you want your impeller over that hole right there, okay? Push that down, turn that to the side, clamps, hook in the base, then that locks in place and job's done. Then we want our pipes. Then we're going to want our pipes to go on the top, okay? So that is your inlet and that is your outlet. So we want the water coming in through the lift tube to the one nearest that priming handle, and you just basically push those down snug there and you wind that up. Not super tight, but enough to grab it, pinch it up tight. And the same with that one. Place that on there, screw that back up, and that is nicely in secure place there. So then basically that is done. Now obviously I'm going to have to drop this down a little bit lower. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to prime it on a bucket. I've got a bucket by the side of me here, and we can prime it up. Right, okay guys, the simple thing to do now is to prime it. So I push that handle all the way down, and basically all you do is you lift up and you depress. You lift up and you depress, and you just keep doing that, and suddenly you'll hear it start to gurgle. There it goes, and now it's starting to fill up, and if you hold the pipes you can feel that vibration of that water coming in, and you can feel the air being pushed out through the outlet tube. So it's filling up with water. I can feel it getting warmer as well, so that means it's filling up. A few bubbles coming out the top, and as quick as that it's primed itself. So now what I'll do is, and we'll turn it on, but we can back that right off. So like I said earlier guys, this is good for 20 to 45 US gallons, and you can back that right down now, look. To just literally a very, very low trickle. And if you had that in amongst plants and stuff, and you had a sponge on like I've got there, these would be absolutely perfect for a shrimp tank. You can run that, keep it right low. As we know, shrimps like low running, and that would be absolutely fantastic. I can probably get even lower than that. There you go, literally goes down to a trickle. Absolutely fantastic. And all the way back up. I don't think I'll put it flat out again because those little corries are a little bit getting blown around a little bit there, but I think that'll do it. Well guys, what do I think of the Fluval 207, one of their latest additions to their line of products? Well, I think they're absolutely brilliant little filters. Really, really easy to clean through, easy to set up as you just saw me do, and really good solid little design, especially with that little plunger handle there for priming. Literally two or three pumps with that, it fills up, press play, and you're good to go. Fantastic little filter, like I said before, 60 to 220 litres, 20 to 45 US gallons, and it's a great all-round little filter in my opinion, so it gets Mark's Aquatic seal of approval, that is for sure. Thanks you Fluval for sending me this, and stay tuned because on the next video I'm going to be announcing a competition from Fluval, and some very nice prizes up for grabs for one of you lucky guys out there, okay? Anyway, stay cool, be safe, love you loads, take care, and I'll see you on the next episode of Mark's Aquatics. Bye for now.
Just me and my guitar.